Yo, what's up? Bill here, Classic Rock and Metal Review, or should I say ho ho ho, what's up? This is the first of my 12 videos of Christmas. I figured what better way to start it out than to give you my 10 favorite Christmas songs for this year. I'm also going to lay them down as a playlist for you to listen to. You know, they kind of change a little bit every year, I would say, even though I've got a lot of mainstays over the years, but every now and then a couple new things crop in. I think a couple of these songs you guys are probably going to weren't even aware exist. Some of you anyway. But if you can like and subscribe before we get started, that would be awesome. All right, so let's start. Let's just go 10 to 1. Real struggle putting these in order. I mean, you know, you love them all. I even have like 5 extras that could have probably just as easily been in here. But let's just start with number 10. And yes, it's a mellow one, but you know, I like all kinds of stuff. Carpenter's got a great ballad called Merry Christmas, Darling. Came out in 70. I think this album here is more like 78, but it ended up on like updated versions of this. This was originally an album that, you know, ran 40 minutes or so, and then as a CD, it's 70 some minutes. So it's on here. It's also on this guy. It's the only Christmas song on this double CD, Carpenter's Gold. And of course it was a single originally. Back in 1970, it was a #1 Christmas song in 70, and then also in 71 and 73. It's just a great song. I mean, you know, I think all these songs I'm about to talk about all have one thing in common. They're great Christmas songs, but they're just great songs, period, basically. All right, number 9. Let's go a little traditional with this one, even more so than the last one. You gotta put some Burl Ives in there somewhere, right? I mean, take your pick where you want to get it from. This is a CD that's the soundtrack to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, this, you know, cartoon special. That's the actual 64 album right up there behind me. So it looks like he did a version for the movie, then did his own version for his own album a year later there. Burl Ives' Holly Jolly Christmas. And the song, I'm sorry, did I even say it? Holly Jolly Christmas. That's my favorite song from him. Even though, of course, his whole album's chock full of classics that, you know Burl Ives for. Of course, he's the voice of Frosty in that one. Did a couple other Christmas specials too, as far as I remember. So 64, 65, take your pick. Both great versions of that song. All right, now let's get into some rock. This used to be probably higher up on the list for me, but got a couple newer things coming up later. But for number 8, I got Tom Petty. It's Christmas All Over Again. It's from 1992. It's a very special Christmas, Volume 2. So, you know, I don't know how many volumes they're up to now. At one point, I had 5 or 6 of these. They were all given to me, by the way, and it's on here. So Tom Petty, Christmas All Over Again. Just a great song, you know, rock and total Tom Petty style. I think the lyrics too, like maybe are a little outdated, is why it fell for me at this point. I think with COVID, you know, the whole Christmas rush thing seems to have calmed down a little bit anyway. At least it feels that way to me, but it's still a killer song. Number 7, here's another guy, take your pick. I mean, Andy Williams. This is some cheesy 80s version of the Andy Williams Christmas album. That was the original back in 1963. My favorite one from that is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. And also, you know, what's the other one? Holiday Season. That's a great one. But Happy Holiday Season, I think it's called. That's great too. But I'll just go with It's Most Wonderful Time of the Year. 1963, Andy Williams. You know, I was clicking around on YouTube last night. Pulled up his 66 Christmas special. Just watched a few minutes of it, man. You gotta at least glance back at that stuff. It's pretty cool. Number 6. This is a great one, and this, by the way, will be my favorite Christmas CD that I've ever owned. I've had this for about 15 years or so. Billboard's Greatest Rock and Roll Christmas, it's called. Sorry, they have a couple different CDs of Christmas stuff. There's at least 2 other songs on this countdown from this disc. But for this one, Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick. What a great tune, man. You know, totally keeps in with the Beach Boys sort of style, but yet it's Christmassy too. Just a great fun song. Love it. This is one that's, definitely just rising up in the ranks for me a little bit every year. And we'll get back to this album, like I said. Awesome stuff there. Here's something you might not be familiar with. I knew this album was a couple years old, maybe 5 years old. God, how time flies. I just got this last year. This America Holiday Harmony album is 20 years old. Came out in 2002, for God's sakes. There's an awesome song on here. It's an original called Christmas in California. Great, man. Just like the Beach Boys one. It sounds a lot like America, and yet it's Christmassy too. Cool as hell. Christmas in California. Check this one out. Like I said, I'm going to drop all these in a playlist. But it's actually a really cool album. If you like America, you got to get this album. They throw little inflections of some of their hits in some of these traditional Christmas songs. And it sounds a little corny at first, and it does kind of grow on you because it's like subtle, but Christmas in California is a total original. Excellent. All right, now up to number 4. Now, I actually don't own one of these. I had to download it off iTunes, but Ray Charles' Spirit of Christmas. We all know it from Christmas Vacation. That's where I first got to know it from. I always loved that scene in the movie, and it just fits that whole scene so perfect. And but the song by itself is just amazing, man. I love that song. I have to admit, I get like kind of teared up, choked up when I hear that song, like almost every single time. Love it. The Spirit of Christmas. That's a 1985 Christmas song for Ray Charles. So it sounds like it could be 20 years older than that, but an 80s Christmas song by Ray Charles. The Spirit of Christmas from the album of the same name. Great stuff there. Now, back number 3. This one I was actually, really super into music at the time when this one came out. And I remember, I don't know why the hell I was there, but I was laying on my dining room floor with my headphones on. I don't know, a couple weeks before Christmas, or maybe it was late November, I don't even remember. Somewhere in there. And on the radio comes this song, and I mean, just blew me away. And honestly, I didn't even know if it was an old song that I just had never heard of. I really couldn't tell, although the drums kind of made it sound modern. But BandAid's Do They Know It's Christmas? This just happens to be a 12-inch I have that has a couple different versions on there. The standard one, and then I think they ended up calling this the extended mix at some point. But, oh, okay, there's a revised mix on the front, the regular mix on side 2, and then the long version that they call Feed the World on side 2. Not in the best shape playing wise, but it was kind of cool. I picked it up, I don't know, 10 years ago, kind of cheap. But I actually last Christmas season, I found this CD of the same song, BandAid 20, so a bunch of artists redid the song. But there's also there's regular versions on here also from '84. And also the version from Live Aid is on here too, audio. So this is a cool little pickup. I think this only ran me $6 or $7, and then another $6. It was imported from Germany. So now I think you can get that song on CD and various different compilations, but last year I wasn't finding it except for this one. Awesome song. I mean, just love it. I just love hearing all those different voices. I mean, who doesn't like that song? Maybe you don't, but. All right, number 2. I'm going to go with, this was my favorite for quite a few years, I would say, but back to the Billboard album. You can get this in various places also, but Billy Squier, Christmas is a Time to Say I Love You. Awesome rocker, When you want to play Christmas music and rock at the same time, can't go wrong with that Squier song. Man, could Squier do anything wrong in 1981? And that was actually the B-side of My Kind of Lover in 1981, so which I never knew until I was looking this song up tonight. All right, so number 1, man, this song has just grown on me slowly but surely. I never even knew it existed till I bought, here we are again with that Billboard Rock and Roll Christmas, until I bought this thing and I was buying it for Squier, and the Foghat song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, on here is just awesome. If you haven't heard it, check it out. Total Foghat boogie rock. And like I said, you want to hear Christmas music, but you want to rock out, throw this one on. You're going to love it. This was just a standalone single back in 1981 for Foghat. Great freaking song. Love it. gives me an excuse, excuse to jam out when I'm supposed to be playing Christmas music for the house, right? So I think that basically does it. Like I said, I'm going to leave everything in a playlist, but also just one final thing. My favorite Christmas album. I don't really put on Christmas albums and make playlists out of all the songs we just talked about, etc. But there is one album I do throw on once in a while, and it's like super fashionable right at the moment, but I've had this for about 4 or 5 years, and for at least that long. For at least 3 or 4 years, this has been the one where when I hear a whole album, don't want to really necessarily it to be Christmassy, just something in the mood of Christmas without all the, sing-along stuff. Classic Charlie Brown Christmas album. What can you say, man? Just throw this thing on. Just got jazz trio laying it out there. Kind of get you in the mood in a more just relaxed way. It's a great album, man. I think there's actually a super deluxe edition of this that just came out this year. I mean, I don't think I need all that, but I don't know. Who knows? I say that now. Anyway, some honorable mentions I would say, and believe me, I love Elvis. There's probably 3 songs on your typical Elvis Christmas album that are awesome. What is it? Why Can't Every Day Be Like Christmas? Of course, there's Blue Christmas, which is killer. I always liked Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me. Like I said, and also, I know, and listen, I'm getting a little back into it now, but this song got beat to death for a good 15 years when I was younger. Kinks' Father Christmas is awesome. I'm really kind of enjoying it again for the first time in a long time this year. Like it a lot again. And last but not least, I think this is on the first very special Christmas. The Pretenders' Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Really starting to grow on me. Sounds very 90s, but it doesn't sound bad. It's aged pretty well considering. So, all right, guys, that'll do it. First of the 12 videos of Christmas. If you're digging stuff, I mean, got some Kiss coming up, some Judas Priest coming up, Sabbath coming up. It's going to be 11 more cool days worth of stuff. And it'll all end up on Christmas when I hand out 5 things to 5 subscribers. Yet to exactly determine how I'm doing that, but it will happen. All right, man, that'll be all for now. If you guys can like or subscribe, that would be... Come on, Frank. Great. Catch you later.